The NFL draft is done and over, and I am going to be breaking down each and every team and grading out their draft. So check back every day, because one team I will do every single day, and I'll have it up here on YouTube for you to watch. We'll go over every prospect that they drafted, as well as some key undrafted free agents that they may bring in. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section, and I'll be sure to address them for you. Also, just be aware on my draft grades, no one fails the draft, especially right after it. Even no one in this draft is going to get a D or an F from me, because everyone had a talent. Everyone did something. So if you think the grades are a little bit high, that's just me not going to too much extremes. And maybe in 3 or 4 years, when we look back on this draft, then we can see who really succeeded and who really failed. So sit back, relax, enjoy me as I break down every single team this year. The draft expert, Shane Hallam, shows off his knowledge. Writing mock drafts, prospects from the best college. Breaking down tape, he might develop a man crush. Tearing up guys, taking questions in a rush. Comparisons, learning lessons, Shane saves the day, hoy vey. Hulk or Banner, doesn't matter. Listen, cause here's who can play. Alright everyone, today we're going to be grading the St. Louis Rams. And St. Louis, #1 overall pick, worst record in the NFL. So you're probably going to have a pretty good draft. And they're #1 overall. They took Sam Bradford, quarterback from Oklahoma. I'm not a huge Sam Bradford fan. I had it behind Jimmy Clausen. I think he's going to bust in the NFL. But I understand the pick, and I like the pick. Look, you have to go for a franchise quarterback if you don't have one. That's the golden rule of the NFL draft, and the Rams sure as hell did not have a franchise quarterback. Mark Bolger was not it. He's not the guy anymore. He's over his time. They released him. It's not Keith Noll, and it's definitely not going to be Feely there. So I think Sam Bradford is who they had to go with. He'll probably get a shot from starting day one, if not second or third game of the season. And he's going to have command of this offense, and it's his free reign. I just wonder what he can do under pressure. That's my big question. Is he going to get hurt if he gets hit? We really didn't see him under pressure at Oklahoma. When he got hurt. So it's not necessarily the injury issue, but how does he react? Does he throw the ball errant if he's under pressure? You know, do we see other people? We see defenses being able to read him. If they get him under pressure and he rolls out, does he throw ducks? We'll see what happens. That's my question with him. And the second, they got Rodger, Saffold, offensive tackle from Indiana. Like this pick. Traded away Alex Barron after the draft for Bobby Carpenter. Bring in Rodger Saffold to possibly play right tackle or left tackle for them. He's someone in Indiana that played left tackle for a number of times. Could be a good fit at guard. Very versatile. He looks a little frumpy. Doesn't look like your ideal left tackle, but you put him in the game, his athleticism shows, and he's very good at protecting the passer. And the third, they got Jerome Murphy, cornerback from USF, a high upside player, a position of heavy need for the Rams. And Murphy was very inconsistent. There were games where he was dynamic. He could cover top college corners and stick to them, make big plays, read the quarterback well. And there were games when he got burned and got beat and got out-physicalized by a lot of these players. So it's going to be interesting if they can pull out the very good Jerome Murphy and not the bad one. And the fourth, they got Mardy Gilyard, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. A guy I know a lot of people liked. I wasn't quite as high on him as some. He did very well in college, and he was a college wide receiver. I don't think he can be a starter in the NFL. He doesn't have that breakaway speed on the field against NFL players. He had it against college, but he's a good return specialist. I think he can be a great slot wide receiver, make solid catches, make some plays, and get those tough third down plays. So I think the Rams do have a lot of those type of players on their team right now, but Gilyard's one that could stick. The fifth, they got Hoomanawanui, a tight end out of Illinois, a guy that I've talked about on here before. Going to get drafted as a blocking specialist. That's what he's good at. Probably the best blocking tight end in this draft. Help you win the run game, help you in the pass protection and the passing game. So I like that pick as well. The fifth, they got Davis from Louisiana-Lafayette, a high upside defensive end. Someone that has a lot of athleticism. It's a type of player that the St. Louis Rams really lack on their defensive line. They have a good defensive line. They spent high picks, but they don't have a pass rusher. They don't have a high upside guy. I think Davis can come in a rotation and give them that. In the sixth, they got Fendi Onobun, tight end, who caught 2 career passes in college, but he still got drafted in the 6th round. Not even in the 7th. Reason is, he looks like Antonio Gates. I mean, that's the type of frame that he has, the type of athleticism that he has, and they've already tried him out at some of these rookie OTAs, and he's looking good. This is a player they can bring along as their #1 tight end, pass catcher in the red zone. Figure out a way to get him involved can be another weapon on this offense. It's a risky pick, but in the 6th, hey, maybe worth a shot. Also in the 6th, they got Eugene Sims out of West Texas A&M, defensive end. He could play linebacker at the next level, probably a little undersized for defensive end. Another special teamer type of player that I think they grabbed there. In the 7th, they got Marcus Johnson out of Alabama, a safety, linebacker tweener. Probably going to play safety for the Rams. Another good special teams player, in the box type of guy that can make some big tackles. And then in the 7th, they got George Selvie, defensive end from USF. I like this pick. George Selvie 2 years ago looked like one of the best defensive ends in the country. Played 3-4 outside linebacker, pass rusher, had double-digit sack numbers out the wazoo. Comes in this year, more tape on him, and we see him kind of get pushed around, moved around, and doesn't look like his old self. So the question is, which George Selvie do you get in the 7th? Worth the risk. Their last pick in the 7th was Josh Hall, linebacker from Penn State. Really didn't see him as an NFL player. Got taken out of plays, couldn't shed a block. I don't think he's going to make this team. But overall, I give the Rams an A-. They had to go Sam Bradford. I really like their next couple picks. Saffold, Murphy, Gilyard, Hoomanawanui. I like the George Selvie pick, and I like the Fendi Onobun pick. So I think these are some good picks for the Rams. I think this is helping move them in the right direction. We'll see if it's enough, because I think there's still a lot of holes on this team. They may still be pretty bad. In terms of undrafted free agents, only one guy caught my eye, really, was Thaddeus Lewis, quarterback from Duke. He's not an NFL starter, but maybe can be a number 3 QB and someone that could compete with Keith Noll for that spot. So overall, Rams A-. Stay tuned tomorrow as we go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.